Assalamu alaikum. It's Combat Hub here. We're gonna be talking about oh, let me put this headset on. Forgetting what I'm doing. Yeah, so today we're gonna be talking about is this even on?
Yep,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Alright, signed. Alright, so yeah, today we're gonna be talking about how to raise children obviously with a background of sports and MMA side of things.
Yeah, yep. And obviously, raising children is a big topic, and you know, um, something that we're only gonna touch on. We're not scholars in Islam or anything, but we do specialize in teaching children mixed martial arts, and we're always teaching children mixed. We're always interacting with children and teaching children. Helping them grow. So we'll try, give it input of what we know, and you can run with that, inshallah.
Yeah, we do have we've been teaching. I've taught around 700 children in the last 3 4 years. Mohammed similar amount, and we see loads of different kids, and
Yep.
we see a lot of parents, and it comes to like we can kind of suss out things that can be better. Like for example, consistency with certain things, discipline, these type of stuff. So, but we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into all that. We did have some questions as well. We got some questions lined up because we put it on our social media, and we got some questions on our Instagram. So next week, if you guys want to ask us questions in advance, it is best to go on to our Instagram, which is Community Combat, community.combat, and you can ask us questions on there, and we can answer them for the next week. So the first question we got is, how can the principles and values learned through MMA training be applied to raising young men and children in today's society?
So this basically boils down to what do you get out from learning MMA, and as a child, as a young person, um, the main things you would learn from MMA is discipline straight away. As soon as you enter the gym, you'll learn manners, you'll learn discipline, and that'll be drilled into you. That will you'll be, the child's brain will be rewired. We've seen this all the time. A lot of kids, they come to the class, they don't know what to expect. They're probably a little bit immature, but after a few classes, their maturity starts to change. They start to become more confident, and after a few weeks, they're a different child. And we make sure we maintain a certain standard in the gym. But that's something that you'll need to maintain as soon as the child leaves the gym as well, if you want them to keep improving. But yeah,
Yeah, that's like Mohammed says, that's one of the main things is that when the kids come, they will gain their confidence and all that discipline stuff. So bang on, Mohammed. Hopefully that answers the first question. Whoever answered it, whoever asked the question. Next one. What are some key lessons that children can learn from practicing MMA, and how can these lessons benefit their overall development?
same thing, similar answer. As soon as they enter the gym, they would learn to fail a lot and but carry on. That's not an issue. When you come into the MMA gym, you expect it to fail. You expect it to do the move wrong a bunch of times before you get it right. And we see this all the time. Like a lot of children, we've seen it recently, last yesterday. Like this students experience losing. They experience doing something wrong, and they get frustrated. But you're not supposed to get frustrated when you get something wrong. You're supposed to just keep doing it until you get it right. And that's something that would hopefully affect the rest of their life. That's something that, yeah, was when they get older, they're gonna be experiencing failure, but that's not
Yeah.
something that they're supposed to get frustrated about.
And personally, I would if you know your child is frustrated in losing, play more games with them and let them understand that losing's okay. even if they lose once and you be like, oh, I don't want my child to lose again, I'm not gonna play a game with him. That child's not gonna learn.
Yeah, they're not gonna be.
They're not gonna learn.
They're not gonna want to play anymore. Whereas if they understand that losing's part of the game, but that they need to carry on to try to get better, then hopefully building that type of mindset is a lot more beneficial.
Yeah. So you know, shout out to that kid yesterday.
Yeah, no names.
No names, no names. You know who you are.
Yeah.
How can parents strike a balance between encouraging their children to participate in combat sports like MMA, whilst also doing their safety and well-being? Whilst ensuring their safety and well-being.
This kind of links to the previous answer as well. If you make mixed martial arts and training and combat sports seem like something scary, that if they get hit or if they do something wrong, that they're just completely rubbish at the sport, then and the child will be scared of training in it. They'll never want to even dip their toes into it. So that's you have to make it seem like it's something joyful. If you bring them to the gym, hopefully we'll give a good introduction to MMA to the child. And yeah, what was the questions? How say the question again? Sorry.
So basically, how can parents strike a balance between encouraging their children to participate in combat sports like MMA, whilst also ensuring their safety and their well-being?
Yeah. So when it comes to MMA, especially for a child, you don't have to put him in danger all the time. They don't have to be in sparring all the time. You can play games with them. MMA can, when it comes to training MMA, the amount of time we spend playing games with the child, like on the pads, doing races, build, it's a lot. We spend a lot of time doing that, and that's to help encourage them. That's to help them that's to helping grow their confidence before you start throwing them to more dangerous um, aspects of the sport. You got anything else to say about that?
Yeah. So bang on with everything Muhammad said. It's just that you have to do your due diligence as well and do your research on the club that you're gonna send your kid to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to throw them
you know
into
what I'm
something.
saying.
Yeah, if
We've
you know,
had a lot of parents that say, we went to this club, and my child got beat up. Like you need to understand. You need to understand the coaches. You need to understand. The dynamics of the place
yeah,
and the
that's one of
dynamics
your
between the coaches.
responsibilities.
Yeah, as a
If
parent.
you want your if yeah, you're gonna need to do some research of the background of the gym that you're gonna send your child to. You'll do that for school. You do that for university. You do your research for a job. Same thing when it comes to sending your child to a gym. You need to do some research.
Yeah, not every MMA gym's the same. Like we focus on technical side. We do very little sparring. We have a sparring dedicated class
Yeah,
where
yeah,
when
yeah.
kids are ready, we move them to that level. So that's one way you can ensure safety to your child, and obviously their well-being. But yeah, so do your research and send them to a decent thing and is balanced as well. Next question. In what ways can MMA training help instill discipline, respect, and self confidence in young individuals? And how important are these qualities in shaping their character? That's a good question, that is.
Say that again. Sorry. Right, let's break that down.
So basically, in what ways can MMA training help instill discipline, respect, and self confidence in young children?
So a lot of these questions are overlapping. So, but I think this is more these guys. This question is asking for a more specific answer. So when it comes to MMA, like I said, if the child is in inside a is in the sparring class, for example, they're gonna face people that even though they're doing light sparring, that they may get hit by a low kick, and that's something that a child doesn't experience a lot. They don't experience getting hit. There's a lot of children out there that don't experience, I don't know, falling over and going to the park and things like that. So as soon as they experience that, it's a shock to them, and that's something that when we explain to them, okay, this is part of fighting, their mentality changes and they'll grow. They'll grow. They're like, okay, this is part of fighting. Next time I'm gonna check it. Next time I'm gonna check it, and then they'll start checking it, and then it's I don't know. It makes their skin a bit
Yeah,
more thick.
yeah, it does. It does. Uh, and if you're asking about, like, you can put it in your own sense. Basically, like, would you rather your kid just go to school and then go home and just play Xbox, be on computer games, and stay at home?
It'll soften them up.
Yeah, it
That'll
was.
make them.
Yeah, they'll have a basically a routine where it's just school, home, Xbox, sleep, school, home, Xbox, repeat. You get it. So you
Yeah.
have to, like, if you want your child, to gain confidence, the best way to gain confidence is mixing them up with other children.
Yeah. As soon as they enter the gym, it's a different social area. It's not like the school. If you think about school, they're inside. They go to school. They probably have a form class. They spend I don't know, less than half an hour
Mm.
just talking. They don't even. They're still half asleep. Their brain's dead, and then they're straight away rushed into into a class, learning maths, learning English, and they don't really have time to really socialize. Whereas as soon as when they enter the gym, they're socializing from the get go.
From the get go.
From the get go, they enter the gym. They're playing football, and then they wait for the class to start. Class starts, and then straight away they're doing drills with each other. They're actually interacting with each other.
They're
They're not
talking to each other.
Yeah.
They're figuring stuff out. It's all.
And there's
And
nothing wrong with education,
Yeah.
by the way. Of course, you have to do maths, but there's something missing out in the routine of today's child, and That's why we try to implement mixed martial arts. That's why we think it's such a good thing, it's because
Yeah.
it helps provide that thing that children are missing today.
And
which
it's
is a
not,
little
what it
bit-
is, we're only talking about mixed martial arts. Like, it works with football as well, works with
Yeah.
others. Any extra curriculum sport that you're sending your child to, sport is going to be good. Like, they only do 1 hour a week of PE in schools. Like, I've worked in schools, 1 hour of physical education a week.
Yeah,
There's
just-
no way that's enough. And that will, if you instill that into a child, when they grow up, they won't do sports, they won't do any exercise when they get older. They'll probably have a New Year's resolution, do it for 2 months, and that's it.
That's the type of mentality that would help uh, grow. Obviously, everyone that grows up, they understand that they need to train more than once a week. They need to implement, they can't be living a sedentary life. They need to get up more. And yeah, that's something that going to mixed martial arts gym, going to football, being more physical helps do.
And obviously, this is all coming back to the topic as well, like raising your children. Like, it's your duty. Your child doesn't have a choice. Like, let's get it straight in there. You as a parent, like, if you're not gonna turn around and say my child's gonna wake up one day and say I'm not gonna be Muslim. You can't. You can't stand for that. You're the child. You're leading. You're leading the boat. You're
the
steering.
parent.
You're steering the boat. You're gonna tell your child, we are Muslims. This is that. So your child's gonna become Muslim. Same with anything. If you want your child to get into sports, you're gonna put your child into sports. You'll get your child being fit. You send them to football or whatever. It doesn't have to be martial arts. It could be football, badminton, anything that will get your child out the house and be more physical. And this will make them and build them into, a fine young man.
Yeah, a person that has all the characteristics that you want them to have. Obviously, there's only so much you can do, but you have to plant the seed as a parent, as the older person, as the elder, as the person that carries the responsibility. You can't assume that the child is going to be just become just have fitness instilled into them straight away just by going to school. School doesn't do everything.
Yeah, like, your children look up to you more than you can ever know. I was teaching my good friend's child, and he come to the gym, and he was kicking the pads. When he kicked the pads, his daughter was kicking the pads as well, perfectly. He kicked the pad and he fell over. His daughter, for the next half an hour, was kicking the pads and falling over.
Yeah.
And you know what? That just shows
How much the child looks
how
up to a
much the
parent.
child just looks up to you. Like, uh, it's mad. It's mad when you think about it that the child saw that. So my dad's doing it. My dad done that. I'm doing it. It must be the right way to do it. And so, like, if you as a parent aren't, like, you don't really have to do exercise. Kind of, it's up to you. You get it. You're grown, but you have to have the effort to take your child to these places, and you have to get out. Even if it's like you finish work 5 o'clock, the club's at 6 o'clock. You got responsibility. You had a child. You gotta make your child better than you are, and that's my personal opinion anyway. Mohammed, do you agree?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
we got a break in 30 seconds. But yeah. So just to summarize, get up, don't be lazy,
It's
support
your
your kids.
yeah, it's
Your
your
responsibility.
responsibility as the elder, as the carer, to provide for your children, to allow them to give them a way to get into physical education.
Some parents would say, "What about Quran classes? Send them to Quran classes
Yeah,
because you're socialized as well."
yeah, 100%.
But yeah, the break's on now, so we'll catch you guys after the break. Assalamu alaikum.
All right, so.
Eurofit Auto Centres, the leading MOT and service centres in West Midlands, are recruiting technicians, MOT testers and managers. There's a starting salary of £30,000 based on experience, and a minimum 5 years experience is necessary. For details, call Rashad at Eurofit Auto Centres on 01902 404045. That's Eurofit Auto Centres on 01902 404045.
Northern Gas Heating, celebrating 24 years of reliable heating and renewable energy solutions for your home. We have unbeatable offers on gas boilers, fully installed by our professional engineers. If your business or home is paying high electricity prices, call for a free Northern Gas Heating quote for cost-effective solar PV with battery storage. Visit northerngasheating.com or call 0800 083 1000.
Ramadan Kareem from Premier Tyres, suppliers of the tyres you can rely on for safe driving, as they're the only link between your vehicle and the road. And as well as leading tyre brands, Premier's your reliable go-to garage for servicing, spares, repairs and MOTs. Now available, Wolverhampton taxi plated cars for hire. Now Uber and Bolt ready, so you can run your business in confidence. For details, visit Premier Tyres, Crown Street, WV1 1PX. Call 01902 455 684 or visit premiertyreservices.com.
Experience the AK Windows difference. Visit our HQ at Economic House, Salisbury Street, Wolverhampton, WV3 OBG. Discover quality UPVC and aluminium windows, doors, roof lanterns, bifolding doors and composite doors in various styles. Offering glass and UPVC repairs too. With over 30 years of experience, AK Windows is your trusted choice for both trade and retail. For free quotations, call 01902 421 500 or visit akwindows.co.uk. Elevate your living with AK Windows. Precision, quality, satisfaction.
Midland Plastics and Plumbing Limited, your one-stop shop for home and bathrooms. A wide range of plumbing products and quality bathroom supplies in Wolverhampton. We supply underground drainage, guttering, roofing products, UPVC cladding and much more to the trade and public. This Ramadan, we're offering 40% off all bathroom suites. Visit us online at midlandplasticsltd.co.uk or call us today on 01902 399 611. Or why not visit in-store at Moore Street South, Wolverhampton, WV2 3JN.
Mubi Bass Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment. Suppliers of leading brands, Samsung, Sony, and Panasonic. We supply and fit all car audio systems, top brands, Kenwood, Bose, and we're an authorized supplier of Vibe product. Visit our store online at mubibass.co.uk and order today for next day delivery. Mubi Bass Electronics are proud sponsors of Wolverhampton Wanderers FC. Call us today for a free quote on 01902 754 546 and quote Ramadan 20 for 10% off. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mubi Bass Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment.
Khan Builders offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions, and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring, and high-quality service, and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Khan Builders today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Khan Builders. We've all spent a lot of time at home lately, and it's time to notice those carpets really need replacing. Let's be honest, we don't want to go from shop to shop, do we? Well, Perfect Carpets can save you the time and bring perfection to your floor. Over 1,000 high-quality styles and colours. Carpets start from only £3 per square yard. Rugs from £30. There's free measurements and free quotation with exclusive trade discounts to landlords and builders. You can't get any more perfect. Make your home with Perfect Carpets, the Black Country's biggest carpet store. Call us today on 01902 428 833 or visit us at 21 to 25 Snow Hill, Wolverhampton, WV2 4AD, and quote Ramadan Radio for 5% off your next order.
Quick Build Construction Limited offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions, and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring, and high-quality service, and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Quick Build Construction today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Quick Build Construction.
Do you have a family member that's passed away and you would like someone to assist you in legal advice? Kenneth Jones Solicitors has been providing legal services for businesses and individuals since 1986. We specialise in probate, Islamic wills and family law. We also offer services in conveyancing, immigration and personal injury. Contact us today on 01902 745 773 or visit us on our website at kenneth-jones.co.uk.
Okay, and we're back from the break, and just to obviously recap on what the topic is, if you don't already know, it's raising children through sports, martial arts, and we're just giving our intake on what we've experienced and what we think that could benefit children in this generation to become better men and better women. So we're going to go back to another question we had is, how can I improve my child's behavior? He gets angry quick, he lashes out. How do I sort this problem out? Does it have to be just through martial arts? The answer is no, it doesn't have to be just through martial arts. It starts from the house. Single mom, or if you have a father in the house, to be honest, it makes a bit of a difference, but it shouldn't stop you from disciplining your child. Let's just talk about a single mom point of view first. If you're a single mom, you have to be the father, you have to be the mother, all in one, and it is hard. It is. No one's saying it's an easy job to do. Women who do that, you soldiers, respect it. Really, really, really respect it. So, one thing I would say is, you have to, if your child messes about, you have to put your foot down straight away. Shut it off from the root, and then the tree won't grow. Like if you're letting bad behavior, okay, my child done this, it's not that bad, I'm gonna let it grow. That's gonna become a little leaf. That's gonna become into
snowball effect.
Yeah, and then that's it. And then you would think, my child messes around. Do I send him to an MMA club? Do I send him to this club? But when you send him to that club, you already sent him the problem. You could have stopped the problem from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you could, when your child messes around, we understand some children are difficult, but you have to, like when the kids come to us, when we have a child messing about, I tell him straight how it is.
Yeah, like the first class is one of the most important sessions for that child. Even though obviously you want the class to be a good session for the child, but another role of that first session is to draw the line in the sand, to say, you cannot cross this line to the child. Straight away, you have to assert dominance in a way.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is.
Straight away, because you can't be a parent in a house and have the child run the house. That's the roles are not like that. Obviously, for some reason nowadays, that's how the roles are. But
the child runs the house. If I want this, I'm having it. If I don't want it, I'm not having it. And you let it slide, and then that's why the kids become how they are. Like, you really have to put your foot down, say no, and that is it. Shut it off. They cry. Of course, kids cry. Kids are gonna cry.
That's what kids do.
Like if someone said to you no, you'd get upset. Everyone gets upset, but you know what I'm trying to say. When you grow up, you then understand.
Yep.
If someone said no to me, oh, it's okay.
They'll love the fact that you do that that you've done that once they've gotten older and once they've became more wise. Like as a child, obviously you can't expect them to understand everything, but you still need to do what you need to do. But as they grow older, they'll understand why you've done such things, why you never let them go out at certain times, why you never let them eat certain foods. They'll understand that once they've grown. And
when they grow up, they're not going to understand when they're young.
Yeah.
Like, you
have to be patient with children.
Yeah.
You can't expect them to understand something straight away. We want that to happen. That would be a lovely thing if it happened. But that's never going to be the case. When we have a child come into the gym, they act a certain way. We understand that it's going to take a certain amount of classes to get them to become more mature, to become more disciplined, to listen and act depending on what we tell them to do. It takes time, and you have to be patient. That's one of the characteristics as a Muslim. You have to be patient. You can't be a person that just expects things to happen straight away.
Yeah, we don't even shout in our classes. Yeah. In our classes, we don't even shout. Once a kid comes the first time, I let him slide for the first half an hour.
I don't think we've ever shouted. Have we ever shouted?
I shouted, not raise my voice. I've never shouted.
Yeah, we gave out disciplinaries.
Yeah,
I've stopped the class and I've made a kid do burpees, but I've never raised my voice. If you raise your voice, it shows that you've reached the limit and you got lost control.
Yeah, when you start shouting,
you've lost control.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, then just there's no return.
Yeah, so you can't be a person that loses control you can shout here and there, but you can't be a person that loses control all the time.
When you're calm with it and you're firm with it, the kid will get, they'll get that fear like, oh no.
They need to understand that you're the individual that has the control in the room, that has there's a hierarchy and you should be at the top of it.
And when it comes to, hitting your children, that's like a no-go. Like, you don't need to. If you do it properly, you don't need to.
I mean, we're in an MMA gym. We've never needed to hit a child.
You know what I'm trying to say?
We never need to give him a low kick.
Innit? We kind of can. We're kind of allowed to do it. But, we don't do it.
We don't.
Because we don't need to do it. We just tell them how it is. I let them slide. Me personally, I let them slide for half an hour. Let them gel in the class. Let them get to know. Let them give. Because when kids get comfortable, that's when they start messing about.
Yep. And that's when you see their true colours.
But we nipped it in the bud from day one. And they don't, even when they do get confident, they don't do madnesses. Like, obviously we get kids who don't listen, and we discipline everyone because of that one child I messed about.
That's one thing I want to just talk about a little bit as well. Even the good children in our class, we make sure to discipline them sometimes, because they need to understand that being disciplined is just part of life. Like, when I tell a good child in the class to do burpees, they would do burpees like that. They won't ask why. Oh, I'm a good kid, and we don't try to foster that type of mentality because I'm good. They're not. Everyone is,
Yeah. Like if someone tells you, we're trying to teach them that we're your teachers. We're not going to teach you something bad. we're teaching you something for your benefit.
And even when they get disciplined, it's for their benefit.
Yeah, and this relays back to parenting. So we trying to teach the kids, if your parent tells you something, just do it. Your parent's not going to tell you to jump off a cliff. Your parent's going to tell you something that's good for you.
Yeah.
So we try to mix the two together. We always, in our gym, we have serve your parents.
Yeah.
It's in big writing. It says serve your parents, and we install this in our kids' heads every day. They come in, they see it. Mo does this little group little talk, so he gets them more sitting in a circle, talks about the importance of certain topics. Like, it's important to get kids to understand that, and you shouldn't just think, I'm gonna send my kid to a club. It's their job to do it.
Yeah, like for some reason I think parents out there, they sometimes feel uncomfortable to have certain conversations with their children.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like, you need to be comfortable to have these conversations with your children. You have to sometimes just put time in the day, 5 minutes, few minutes of the day, just to speak with them one to one. And once you start doing that, I think they start to build more of a relationship and an understanding with you. And like I said, I'm gonna go back to patience, because it's such an important thing. Even in our religion as well, the Prophet ﷺ was he taught us patience, to be patient all the time. We all know that scenario, that hadith of when Hassan and Hussain climbed on the Prophet ﷺ's back when he was prostrating, and he just stayed in prostration and he never got up, and he just let them play. Like, a lot of us today would probably, I don't know, rip him off our back and just
get an armbar, throw him off,
do a judo throw on him and get back up, and then try to finish off the prayer as quick as possible to try before we start shouting at him. But the Prophet ﷺ did the opposite. He stayed in prostration so long that someone in the prayer got up from prostration just to see what's happening. And then obviously they've seen the grandson of the Prophet ﷺ on his back before, so they went back into prostration. So it shows that just shows the amount of patience we need to have as Muslims with our children. And when you teach them something, you can't expect them to learn straight away. They're gonna take time.
Yeah, the kids at the end, and they're not adults. They're kids. So
a lot of these situations, a lot of the cures for these things are found in the Deen as well. I swear, if you do a little bit of research into how the Prophet ﷺ dealt with certain kids, dealt with children, you're gonna find something. There's a cure for everything in our religion, and you're gonna find the answers to all these situations that we find ourselves in.
Yeah. So basically, just is your job as a parent to show the right way first. Don't expect clubs to do it for you. Don't expect the masjids to do it for you. Like,
they're just a supplement.
They'll lose respect. They'll look up to the mosque teacher more than you. They'll look up to the coach more than you. They'll look up to the football coach more than you. And you don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your job as a parent, you're supposed to be a parent. If you had one child, don't have another. You know what I'm trying to say? If you can't handle it. Yeah, like, if you can't handle it.
Yeah.
If you can't handle it, don't do it.
We're a supplement. We're just on the side. We're just, the protein shake to the meal.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
We're just a drink.
We're just a little...
Yeah. You do the hard work. We're
the black seeds to the honey.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't get that one.
Come on, man. You're black seed and honey. You don't know the... I know we'll have next radio
next week's topic will be black seed and honey.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is: Can you share any success stories or examples of how MMA training has positively, yep, that's the word, impacted the lives of young individuals both in and out the gym?
Wow.
I can name a few. You get it. You start.
Obviously, don't name names, but we'll go for the... You knew him first? From Birmingham? Single parent?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go for it? Because you knew him first.
Yeah. Are you on about the same guy?
I believe we're on about the same guy. If you carry
Okay,
on.
I'm gonna tell the story. If it's not the same guy, just stop me.
No problem.
So basically, we used to work at another MMA company. What was an MMA company? It's like a kickboxing thing, whatever. But went there, and I saw this kid. He had potential, and his mom come and spoke to me after like the second lesson, saying, "Look, my kid's on this. My kid's on. The kid's 14 years old at this point, and he was going around on a madness. Like he had
No specifics.
no specifics, but let's put it this way.
It was not good.
Yeah,
He was
like
not around the
what you
correct
see from
circles.
movies. The kid was doing it. 14-year-olds, like in Birmingham is a madness. Like the shootings and stuff, young kids do it, and this kid was kind of involved in it at 14 years old, and his mom told me this, and I was shocked, and I was like, you know what? Let's just speak to him, and it's not my MMA club. Let's just put that first. It wasn't my club. It was this guy's club, and the parent come to me, asked me, and I was like, you know what? Let me just take him out for a meal or something. Are we on about the same kid?
Yeah, we're on about the same thing.
Okay, alright, just confirming. And we took him out to Ice Caf in Birmingham, and he was just telling us this, and that. And long story short, the kids changed up.
Yeah.
It's changed up.
And it's just that we only had like a few conversations
That's
with him.
it.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like
It's not about
sometimes-
training.
Yeah.
We didn't even train. Honestly, I seen him then. I left the company a couple months after, but I'm still in touch with the kid now. So
And the
he's
parent.
like 19 now.
Yeah, and I feel for that mother, but like we just literally had that conversation that I was on about, that 5-minute conversation that I was just talking about earlier, that sometimes a child needs. If you don't have these conversations with your children, they'll have the conversations with other people, and they'll open up to other people, and you just want them to open up to the right people, and who's best other than you, as a parent, who's best other than you. So you don't want them to open up to people on the street. You don't want them to open up you don't want them to end up looking up to people who would show them, the wrong path. They'll take them down the wrong path.
Like we dealt with kids with like different. So this kid was a roadman, as you say, back then. We have really severe autistic kids who never joined in, and when they joined in, they slowly. Now they're interacting with loads of kids. Like you come into the gym, you have zero confidence, you're not even speaking to the coach, and then like we said from the get go, consistency.
With these children as well, we don't expect them to even join in the first lesson. We sometimes just have them observe or just play in the first lesson. These kids that are really, have issues with socializing. But we understand that it will take a few lessons. You have to chip at it, and it will take a few lessons for them to start interacting and socializing more. And then give them, sometimes you have to even wait a month. These ones that are, severely have issues with socializing.
Yeah, we had this one kid. We started our toddler classes 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Today was our third week. Was it third week or fourth week? I think it was our fourth week last week. And he punched the pad twice last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, no, yesterday he punched the pad twice. And that's an improvement.
That's an improvement.
That's an improvement.
That as, something positive,
Yeah,
something
and
good.
the parent, I know the parent anyway, good parent. But for other parents out there, don't think that, in 4 weeks my child's done this. That's besides the point.
You have to look at the long run. If you're bringing them to toddler classes, you need to be looking at the bigger picture here. You understand? You have to be looking at the bigger picture, and you have to be thinking about, how is this going to help them in the next few years? How is this going to help them with the social interactions and things like that they're gonna have in school?
Yeah, let's put it this way. Let's break it down. With our toddler classes, it starts from 2 years old, so they don't even go to nursery yet.
Yeah.
So what you're teaching them in advance is you're teaching them basically. You're not going to be sitting them. You're not going to be sitting with them in nursery.
Yep.
You're not going to be playing with them in nursery. You're going to leave your child in nursery. You're going to go and you're going to come back. You don't want the problem of your child crying. Oh, mom, dad, and then causing you a headache, and your child's not wanting to go. You're spending half an hour there just letting your kid go to nursery, and these things that we're doing is gonna help with these things. Like if you were gonna send your kid to Quran class or whatever, the same issue is gonna happen because they're not used to these things. And if you start putting these kids into these situations where, okay, you send to the MMA gym, and you slowly get him into it. Doesn't matter, even after 6 weeks to punch the pad once, at least they're coming.
Yep.
At least they're running around.
I guarantee you they'll be communicating more. They'll be acting differently. They'll be more open, and to you know, and they'll be just easier to teach.
Yeah. Like I'll tell you what I'll do with that kid next week when he comes. I won't even force him to punch the pad. I will let him come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm teaching the other kids, I'll probably have sweets or something there, just to bribe him a little bit. And he'll 100%, I know from the experience, he'll see those sweets and he'll come and join in. And if I'd done that on day 1, he wouldn't have fell for it. If I'd done that on week 2, he wouldn't have fell for it. If I'd done that on week 3, he wouldn't have. Just because he punched the pads on this Saturday, next week now he would do it because he feels comfortable with me and he feels comfortable with Muhammad. And that's what it is. And then talking about, let's say, a month from now, his mom won't even need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same pattern with every kid.
And that's a huge thing. That's a huge step. A child going away from their parent. Obviously, yeah, they'll want to go back, but for, you know, keeping them for 1 hour without a parent, that's a big step for a toddler.
And I respect the mom. She never said once, "Oh, my kid's not learning." But okay, bear in mind that she paid.
Mm-hmm.
She paid for the month, and she never mentioned anything about, "Oh, is my kid's not learning?" And you know, this should open eyes to some parents who maybe don't have that. Like, you need to be consistent. You need to be patient.
You have to be patient. It all goes to being patient. It all goes back to being patient.
Yeah. So you have to do these things. Yeah. So Mo, do you want to add anything else onto that?
Just another situation of reminds me of the Prophet ﷺ when he sent a Sahabi who was a boy at the time to do a certain chore. I forgot the name. Someone please correct me, or you can send the name to Coach Haida via WhatsApp or Instagram. But he sent him to do a chore. Sallallahu sent him to do a chore, and the child got distracted. The child got distracted, seeing a few other kids, and he started playing with the other children. And then the Prophet ﷺ went out thinking, where's this child gone? Seeing him playing with all the kids, and he just looked at him and smiled. SubhanAllah, he just looked at him and smiled. And put yourself in those shoes, the shoes of the Prophet ﷺ, and what would you do in that situation? You probably do the complete opposite. And instead of smiling, you probably end up taking your sandal off and throwing it at the child. You understand? So, completely different situation and a completely different reaction. And we need to learn from that. Imagine how that affected the child. The child still ended up doing the chore later, but then just from that one interaction, the Prophet ﷺ smiled at him after he understood that he done something wrong. He went to play with the children rather than doing the chore. And that interaction, the effect that would have had on the child, stuck with him. The fact that we know this hadith shows that the child remembered that situation. That Sahabi remembered that situation, that little event, and it had an effect on him. So, yeah, just being patient and understanding that things take time. Things take time, and not to get angry when your child does something wrong. Sometimes just smile and just know it's part of the process. You have to enjoy this process. The child's growing. It takes time. You're trying to grow your child into a grown man, into a grown woman. And
There's a big difference. No, there is a difference between patience and discipline. It doesn't mean if you have patience, you don't discipline.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you let him do everything.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
You can be patient and still discipline your child.
Yep, 100%.
You get it. So don't be thinking we're being controversial.
Like I said, you put you
contradicting or controversial. That's the wrong word.
The same thing. You both right. They're both what do I want to say? So when you're with your child, don't think that we're not putting. We're telling them the standard. They know the standard from the get go. What they expect from us, and sometimes you have to choose when to lose your battles. You have to choose when to lose your battles. Let the child sometimes have some free time, and depending on the age, you have to be a little bit more lenient. Like these toddler classes, we sometimes, if we understand that it takes half an hour, like the attention span is half an hour. After half an hour, they're crying for mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
They want to go back to their parent, and we understand that. These are toddler classes, but as soon as you enter
we don't let them go home. We get the colouring stuff, we get out these games, and they play in the gym.
So they learn for half an hour,
and they get to do free stuff for like half an hour, 45 minutes. If the parent wants to take them home, you can. But these are the stuff we do. We got 5 minutes left. This got one last question. Hopefully, we can answer in 5 minutes. I'll summarize the question. Basically, it's saying that I believe my child is overweight. What do I do in this situation? Do I put my child on a diet? Do I let him eating what he wants to eat? How do I stop him from being big, basically?
Well, as the parent, you're the person that chooses what food is going to be in the house. You choose.
You know what? Some parents, they just feed their kids because obviously you love your kids, and you just want to feed them, and we know what moms are like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just want to feed.
Yeah, you feed. Sometimes you feed kids for the sake of feeding kids. Even just you need to. The back of your mind, he hasn't had a meal in a while. I need to feed him a certain meal. This meal doesn't look like a big enough portion.
Yeah.
I need to give him more.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the state of your child, you understand that portion is probably a big enough portion.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, like just
cut down
a little bit. It doesn't mean going on a diet. Eat what he normally eats or she normally eats, and cut it down a bit. And
just make sure it's healthy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, if your child doesn't go to any physical activities, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah, like I said, it's your responsibility. You can't expect the child to. The child's just is gonna eat what's in front of them.
Yeah, and the kid ain't gonna wake up one morning and be like, today I want to go for a jog.
Yeah, this is unrealistic. It's not realistic. So, yeah, unless the child has friends that are very active, then they'll rub off on them. But there's certain children that especially nowadays,
kids are smart, man. Kids are smart. When kids are big, like you see it, they don't chill with athletic kids because they know it's too much effort.
Yeah, they know it's too much effort. They'll end up socializing with children that are playing on the consoles.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally what they do. And you might think, oh, can I change this? Can I change it? It's my child's friends. Of course you can. Make him new friends in the gym.
Yep. You have to just change the environment of where the child is. So currently the child's environment is probably in front of the console.
Yeah.
You have to change that environment to the gym. Yeah. You have to change that environment to the football court.
Environment, TV, PlayStation, bag of crisps. You don't want that. You don't want your child to grow up, obese. That's probably. I mean, if you do,
it's sad.
It's up to you.
It's sad. You don't, because it's the responsibility is on your shoulders as well. You can't put it all on the child's shoulders. The child doesn't even know what being healthy means. Yeah.
It's like you're leading your child. You're making the choices for your child at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we know in schools is different, but you have as a parent, this is why you have to communicate more with your children, because you don't know what's going on in school.
Yeah.
The society we live in now, I've taught in schools and they're teaching kids crazy stuff. You won't believe it. Like, you really have to communicate with your kids. Don't feel shy, because if you feel shy,
They're your children.
the schools ain't shy.
They're your
know what
your
I'm saying?
children. The schools are gonna communicate with your kids. You
Yeah,
need to be
they
able
will
to
talk about
communicate with your kids.
LGBT, ABCDs, all this stuff, and while you're telling your kid to, go and play Xbox. Yeah, here's a
Yeah.
tablet.
That's the relationship you're gonna have with your child. Whereas there's
And
other
children
people
want attention, and if someone's giving them attention who's promoting LGBTs and that, they're gonna lean towards that direction. They're gonna lean towards that mindset. They're gonna want to know more about that stuff. So communicating with kids is probably one of the biggest things. Like, we dedicate 10 minutes at the end of the lesson just to speak to them.
Yeah.
And if the parents aren't doing it, we're doing it because we know that we have to do it. If the parents don't do it, I mean, we're going to do it regardless.
Mhm.
Like, because it is our duty to do it.
Part of the package, isn't it?
Part of the package, yeah. So, just to summarize everything, points is patience,
Yeah.
discipline. With discipline, be firm. Respect the kid as well. Don't disrespect the kid. Don't make him feel like he's worthless. You get it? It's your kid. Because if his parent makes him feel like he's worthless, he's gonna think everyone else thinks he's worthless, and then that's it. It's not gonna
You
go well.
There's two extremes.
Yeah,
You can be too lenient. You can be too strict. You have to go through that. You have to stay on that middle path, where you show that you have to show the limits. You have to make sure that the child understands what the difference between, doing something wrong, doing something good, and you also have to have a nice side to the child. If this is your child at the end of the day, and so make sure you implement some physical education throughout your child's week, and go back to the Quran and Sunnah. The Prophet, the cure's already there. The Prophet's already showed, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's already showed us a bunch of different examples, a bunch of different situations of interactions of when he acted with treated children. But
Yeah. So, yeah, that's us. We do our starting ladies only classes in 2 months' time. So if anyone is interested, please let us know. But yeah, we'll see you next week. See you later, alligator. I had to say that one.